draft works in this game. This is gonna be Sovereign SG versus Everlasting Love. Let's take a look at the draft, and hopefully, this won't drag out as long as it did in the first time they met today this morning.
Okay.
Freya, Jusin, Kimi banned out by SSG. I like that. I like where they're going in. Kalea getting picked up by Sovereign SG. Everlasting Love, on the other hand, banning out the Matilda. Lucas and Moscow. So we won't have a repeat of the draft that was previously taken up because the Lucas was given over the hands of Pogiaco.
Pogiaco. Yeah, I am handsome.
Let me take a look because Jace actually sent me the statistics. So I have to use the statistics to talk about what went down in the draft
In the
that happened
43 minutes and
previously.
33 minutes game.
So Jace did the homework.
30
I'm just
43 minutes and 33
regurgitating and vomiting everything out.
Okay,
So thank
perfect.
you, Jace.
So you can take a look at the Excel sheet and you can tell me a little
Well,
bit.
I figure out how he writes his Excel sheet because it is kind of confusing.
No? It's
Oh,
so
actually,
straightforward.
no. Wait.
That's so
This is
straightforward.
week. Dang, he's been doing so much work. Okay, week 3.
Okay.
Week 3, day 2 match. Ignite. SSG.
I have no idea. I can't even remember what game is that anymore.
Day 2. So 0
Okay, why do
Sovereign.
you do
Sovereign.
that?
Okay.
Okay.
So they picked up the Lucas Baxia Chusin Ranger Tigro for Sovereign. And then the Badang, Harith, Gatot Gacha, Kimi, and Hayabusa. So no more Kimi, no more Lucas, no more Chusin.
Hayabusa is still currently available though. Gacha has
Hayabusa.
already been picked up before, or rather picked up now. They had a Harith, right?
They had a Harith
They
and
had
they
a
had a
Harith.
Badang,
They had a Badang also.
which was infinitely scaling because the Badang and the Gatot Gacha actually built up the Thunder Belt. So mathematically, they wouldn't have lost because the amount of pokes that they did with the basic attacks would have meant that their stacks for the Thunder Belt would have hit at least 80, which is a lot
Yeah.
of defenses.
I am really afraid right now. Oh my god, it's almost
It's the
same
Badang
damn
again! And the Sicilian too. Together paired with the Granger. So Granger going into the hands of Night Shiki once again. So it is sort of like a repeat of what went down where Akashi also played the Harith. The only difference is right now, the only difference is the Sicilian picked up instead of
Okay,
Jusin because it
That's
was
true.
banned.
Okay, so you know what this means?
The later this game goes, SSG might have a better shot. Statistically.
Yes,
Statistically speaking.
statistically.
But also statistically speaking, if Everlasting Love buys Thunder Belts for both Gacha Gacha and Padang, that means they're also infinitely scaling. So both teams in the uber late game, I'm not talking about like late game, I'm talking about uber late game, like 30 minutes plus. They shouldn't be able to die quickly if they don't make any mistakes.
So you know what this means?
It's time for the Short Kings podcast. I thought that was your code word to segue.
Oh, yeah, you're right, but not this time. This means that both teams are expected. The both teams expect themselves to go into yet another long game, and they want to leverage that.
As long as they manage to clear things out, and as long as they manage to have an effective dance over the objective. So I'm a little bit more positive. I'm like good cop. You're like
I'm
bad cop.
I'm like hands-on
Definitely
bad
so.
cop, Yeah.
Let's take a look at the second stage of the bans. Loi, Hanzo, Phovius, and Fanny taken off the tables for both teams. I don't think Loi will be picked up over here. If the Farsa was picked up in Everlasting Love, I think that gives a lot of dimensions to the gameplay as well because you do have high ground advantage. But that means that turret defense and base defense for both sides would be pretty good.
Yeah. And I think that at this point in time, Everlasting Love, they are so on quite comical.
Lord.
Okay. With the Leomod joining in place, it still doesn't really quite answer the question about high ground, but I will still say that they have pretty good wave clear from the Leomod's kit itself as well, so let's not forget about that one. But regardless, I would like to see how a Fasa being picked up by Everlasting Love would help them, because they need to deal with that high ground advantage that Sicilian does have within his kit.
Yeah.
So they gotta have to answer an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, high ground for a high ground.
Hath my eyes deceived me with the Bellaric pick? But why?
But why? Because it's
Onto
a
the
Harith.
Harith.
not a Claude.
Typically basic attack, but you don't really scale with a lot of attack speed. Yes, you do have the Feather of Heaven, but it doesn't have a lot of a kind of initiating factors unless they want to use for the Belleric for more of like the catch onto Badang and Kacha as well as the Leomort to create a zonal potential and then layer it in with the Sicilian and a
Oh,
Kalea. But it will be the Valentina, so a little bit of a tit for tat. They use the Wrath of the Dryad.
oh, this
It
is
will
not
be
good
happening on
though.
both sides.
Okay, so in terms of ultimate usage, Valentina would have a pretty good time because there's quite a bit of ultimates that she can use, right? Wrath of the Dryad, Tsunami Slam. These two are probably like the core abilities that we want to see from her.
Yep.
But high ground. We talked about high ground.
Mm.
Eye for an eye, two for the tooth, high ground for a high ground. Which in this case, Everlasting Love does not have any of that. So in the event that Everlasting Love do, oh man, if they do win the early stages of the game and just kind of like push SSG
Yeah.
back home, they have no way of sieging turrets.
They are very committal. If they
Yes.
go in together with the Lord and they don't take down the T3, that is going to be very, very difficult for them to break through because it
Yep.
would send all their resources and their gold over to the side of Sovereign SG. So we're in for a everlasting ride. Will this game be as long as the previous one, or will Sovereign SG clear this out much faster than they did before they had a very good start against the previous team, Nightwing? But man, starting things off, it does look like Sus Bomba very angry about the first game. Doesn't want Super Lunatic to get the luxury of coming into their river line.
Okay. So let's talk about the lanes now. It is a Granger going up against a Harith. We know that Harith is definitely going to have a little bit of a better time. After the top lane, it is a... Oh! Wait, okay, okay. It is a Kong, which is the Kalea that is onto the EXP. So, understandably, I would like to believe that Kalea is going to have a pretty decent time in the lane, but is going up against a Badang. So, skill-based matchup in this case. Mostly skill-based matchup.
So for now, I guess Sovereign SG just buying a little bit more time, waiting for the first turtle, and both teams should play it a little bit more passively. Gilmore already at level 4, so Fake Cutie has a Phantom Steed on arm, ready to call. What's the horse's name again?
Barbiel.
Barnacle. Call his Barnacle.
Barbella.
Barbiel into the battlefield at any time, but he's waiting for the right chance. It's 20 seconds until the first turtle spawns up on the bottom side, though, getting haunted down. That's a Purify already used up by Night Shiki, keeping himself alive, so that is denying that first early kill over the Sovereign, over the Everlasting Love.
2 minutes into the game right now. We've got the turtle that's about to pop up right about now. Perfectly done so with pretty decent levels all across the board. With only Kyushu, Akashi, and so it's really not quite hit at level 4 just yet. But the question is how the junglers are deciding to play. Ogiako currently at level 5, Fate Cutie at level 5. So both of them have decided to go for the third buff creep before heading off to the turtle.
Super Lunatic already down on level 4. Tsunami Slam into the wall. Wrap the Dryad combination. That's into the wall. They go. Tsunami Slam keeps him alive for now, but not before Chroma takes him down. And Fate Cutie secures the first turtle of the game. AOG for the little bit of a back off as Rabio comes into the fray to deal a lot of damage into the backline as well as one-to-one trade. But the luxury and the prestige goes over to Everlasting Love with the first turtle of the game.
That's a very late Barbosa. Very, very late. I would have expected that he would want to summon his horse right off the start of the battle, because you have a very generic combo, right? You charge your impale, summon Barbosa, and then dash towards it afterwards, so that he can do some pretty good damage.
Top side, Kong forced to pop the flicker to get out of the way. Barbiel is actually
Keep changing his name.
looking very good. Barbosa.
I said Barbosa.
Barbino. Is that Elvin? Belvino.
Belvin.
Belvin.
I think they gotta start with Bar first, right?
Bar, yeah.
Okay.
Barney. Barney.
Someone's the purple dinosaur.
The you ever watch How I Met Your Mother? I think that could be a pretty good name for a horse.
I agree. Yeah. He sounds smug.
He sounds smug. He sounds like he takes control of situations.
So what a womanizer. I mean, coming from a horse, I think it makes sense.
Dang, I don't think we should go that far. We're on stream, we live. We live.
We live, bro. We live, bro. 15 seconds in, or rather 15 seconds until the turtle eventually spawns. We do have Everlasting Love that will be putting themselves right into the face of Sovereign SG. Would definitely make things a little bit tougher for them to try to take control, but it's okay because they do have a little bit of high ground. I think the Krill Meow would likely be having a pretty good time, just kind of like going ham with all these bad impacts.
Because Bomba has the Wrath of the Dryad ready. You're starting things off with the Turtle with a little bit of a push and pull from Kyushu and Kong, but both teams don't want to commit as of now. Fake Cutie has Barabosa ready and in arm. Just ready to pull that trigger. Pogiako with a Joy also ready as well. The bottom side, Zaman 4s onto Akashi's 1-1, taking a little bit of turret hit. That sounds the alarm for the top side. Fake Cutie again with the Retribution. The Wrath of the Dryad lands strong with Willie taking out Super Lunatic as well. Kong next to fall by the hands of Willie with a double kill to his name. As Everlasting Love taking control of the objective.
Okay, very fast pace. It's not Everlasting Love. Unfortunately, this upcoming fight that Fake Cutie was going to put himself in no longer will have Barvin to kind of play around with. But we do have Kyushu and Sus Bomba that's just right around the vicinity. Does Sus Bomba have any ultimate that he's stolen just yet? Doesn't seem like it. So they're just gonna probably hang around or go back. Okay, never mind. Here's Barvin.
Barbosa comes in underneath the turret, pushes Naishiki back into the fray. Nice little alley-oop for the Harith. Nashi going wild down the bottom side. On the top side though, Pogiako pops in Real Joy just to save that T1 up top. A little bit of a trade, a little bit of a sacrifice that they have to have. Next big objective coming up in 70 seconds. What will Everlasting Love do? They have the tempo, they have the momentum. We've seen this before. It's the 5-minute mark. The rotations are coming in strong.
I'm still trying to look for dividends coming in from Super Lunatic playing as this guy, the Grass Man. The Vine
Tree Man.
The Tree Man, Vine Man. But I haven't really seen anything. I haven't really felt too much pressure coming in from him. Every now and then, yeah, sure, it's just a Wrath of the Dryad plus a little bit of a taunt, and that's pretty much it. You don't really need that long range taunt in order to kind of stop anyone at this point in time. I don't really quite see the use of it. Maybe if Kashi joins in the battle, maybe we'll get told a little bit more.
Sus Bomba has the Tsunami Slam at the ready. Holding on to that one. 20 seconds until the next major objective comes up. Everlasting Love looking to coagulate down the bottom side. Kong's already there as Kyushu trying to protect Akashi to the best of their abilities. Sky Piercer brought up for Naishiki. That is a core item power spike coming up from the top side as well. The jungle is open. They don't know where Fake Cutie is. It's 0-4 as of now with the killing spree. So the more kills he has, the more that he damages low HP heroes. He's healing everything back up, creating a avalanche from a little snowball. Turtle starting up strong. Doesn't look like Sovereign SG has any intention to fight this one up. Here goes Sus Bomba with a flicker. The Tsunami Slam into the wall. Start things over the AOG as well. 3 members fall by the side of Sovereign SG. It's coming out. Naishiki desperately hiding underneath the turret. Akashi with a triple. Make that all 5 members wiping out. Nice little head and shoulders from there.
Oh, it started off horribly.
Yeah.
As Sus Bomba was not able to land the Tsunami Slam on the Krill Meow. But fortunately, that actually kind of created something because he went on with the Tsunami Slam onto the front line, and it just kind of made all 3 of the front line, they kind of congregate together. It's just kind of like a perfect opportunity, perfect moment for Everlasting Love to just toss everything and anything that they have got, because that was all they needed. The back lines at this point in time doesn't really play too much of a impact into the game just yet, because this is only like, what, 8 minutes into the game.
Well, speaking of 8 minutes, though, it's 5,000 gold lead for Everlasting Love. We've been in this position before. Sovereign SG are very hidey, very defensive team. Kashi, a little bit of a 1v1. Kong tries to go for a Tsunami Slam, unable to reach out towards that Harith. As the jungle is in shambles, Sovereign SG desperately trying to hold on to all of the turrets that they have left standing. Next major objective coming up in 45 seconds. Will Sovereign SG be able to contest for this one, Abstract?
Sovereign SG, I think it's kind of like a tall order, right? We're talking about 6,000 gold difference. And the fast lines, they're pretty darn scary. Somehow Fit Cutie's damage output is probably one of the main reasons why they're doing so well. But take a look at his items, right? He currently got a War Axe as well as the Hunter Strike. This is more than enough damage for him to go pretty much all ham in a very close combat kind of situation. Especially since Sovereign SG playing with the Tree Man. It's a
Treehouse.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna keep changing his terms as well, right? we got a Woodman. You know, they want to play together. They also want to play kind of like a Death Ball. But unfortunately, the Death Ball for the side of Everlasting Love is ultimately still so much better as compared to Sovereign SG.
Nice little trade. Objective for an objective. Eye for an eye. Two for a two. Toe for a toe. And Sovereign SG doesn't want to contest for this board. They know that they need to play passively. They know they have the high ground in terms of Chromel. They know that they want to play into the late game. And it's still pretty early on. Sleeping into the mid-game mark, 10 minutes in. I guess what really broke down was the Valeric or the Treehouse actually having the Revitalize instead of the Vengeance or the Flicker. You don't really have that much extension. And the entire composition of Everlasting Love is basically a run him down, shoot him down kind of composition. When Fake Cutie sounds the horns or pulls the trigger, the entire team is able to chase down Sovereign SG.
I think the other thing that we gotta have to talk about is Kong, right? Being the initiator of the team. I haven't really quite seen that flicker into Tsunami Slam as of yet. And even if he does, it doesn't seem like Sovereign SG has got any ways to melt that one person that got isolated at all yet. They can definitely layer in more crowd control through the spawn, as well as a Rapid Riot coming from the Bach skin. But other than that, it will take some time before they can eventually kill someone.
The defense coming strong for Sovereign SG. They have to deal with the next wave of super minions, but I don't think that should be a problem as of now. The Tsunami Slam right underneath turret's range. Combo with the Rapid Riot. Kyushu won't be able to escape this one. He does, though. The back line. Here comes Fake Cutie, running all of it down. He will fall at the hands of Night Shiki. Two members fall for Everlasting Love. And like you said, Abstract, very, very high committal. There's no way to create that space to run him down underneath the turret. So very good call by Kyushu, buying them some time for the rest of them to come in. Good save from them, but they fall back in with the Wrath of the Dryad, so not enough minions to take down that T1. And this is where the discipline really has come in and really has to show for Everlasting Love. It's 3 kills to 9, but the more the Sovereign SG is in a defensive position, Everlasting Love does not stand a chance in that late game.
Yeah, this is an all-or-nothing game for the Everlasting Love, but hold on a second.
Wrath of the Dryad into the Tsunami Slam, over the wall, Kyushu falls. Now Super Lunatic as well. Kashi going crazy with the Zaman Force and the basic attacks. It's Sovereign SG trying to find signs of life outside of their own base.
This is an all-or-nothing match for Everlasting Love. When it comes down to trying to take control of the middle lane and trying to hopefully bring down the mid lane T3, you guys managed to see, right? When, Willie as well as Big Cutie, they went in together in unison. I absolutely love that. However, Willie just did not have enough range to actually build up that wall to really transition into a fist crack. So at that point in time, Willie understood that if I don't land this, we are backing off.
Yep.
Because there's no reason in continuing a battle when I can't contribute to the battle. While Fake Cutie, he's determined to just go in, go ham, and just die. Which is exactly what he did. Willie even tried to tank onto the turret a little while longer just so that he will be able to make some space for Fake Cutie to just walk right out of the turret, but he's just way too committed. You can't just walk out like that.
Kashi at the top side trying to keep busy with pushing that wave, trying to maintain that wave priority once again. But I remember Sauce Bomba playing, having potentials in backdoor plays, especially with the Kimmy in the first game. But now, Turtle, the Lord, second Lord of the game, what will Sovereign SG do? How will they play as Lord gets a reset once again? Akashi back in action. Super Lunatic, the Treehouse, looking for an angle, looking for any opportunity at all to find Akashi. They know that Everlasting Love likes to play that zone defense. They know that Everlasting Love likes to play a zonal approach and then transition into a death ball. But it's so hard for Sovereign SG to find any loose members at all.
But the thing that Sovereign SG, they know that even if Everlasting Love is just open themselves so wide and just spread themselves out so much. Even if, like for example, even if Willie starts to see the opportunity to jump in with a freeze break and freeze crack, it's not gonna do too much because it will take way too much time for the rest of the members of Everlasting Love to even follow up.
AOG, Lord of the Fifth. Big Cutie takes out Super Lunatic. Pogiaco steals the Lord underneath Big Cutie's nose. But Barbiel is angry. Barbiel is chasing. Pogiaco living with a pixel will go down by the hands of Fake Cutie with a triple to his name.
So they may have lost the Lord fight, but they won in terms of numbers. They are not too afraid of, taking on this upcoming Lord, but let's just talk about this a little bit, right? It is fight all across the place. It is a fight that's been split into two. But unfortunately, what Sovereign SG was looking out for is that they want to prioritize onto extending their game by taking down the Lord. Because the moment that the moment they lose the Lord, Everlasting Love would have a free entry into their base, which is the main problem that Everlasting Love will have. So by denying the Lord, even if they lose the fight, it will bring them closer to victory because their win condition is onto Creo Meow by literally extending the game.
Speaking of extending the game, I'm really interested in how the items are being built up now, because if Thunderbelt is being built by Willie and Kyushu, the longer this goes, it goes in their favor as well. It will be harder to take them down, but they don't deal a lot of damage. Kong is going for a jump. There's a lot of damage from Shiki as of now. Super Lunatic holding on to the Wrath of the Dryad. Don't want to commit as of now. Lord already being taken care of. Fake Cutie turns into Barbiel. He comes into the fray with a Tsunami Slam AOG to disperse. Fake Cutie might be able to go down by the hands of Shiki. That is 1 kill, 2 over to Sovereign SG as Everlasting Love unable to get that defense. Super Minions still pushing in. Sovereign SG is hungry. Sovereign SG, they're angry. They want to take down that T1 at the very least. Running on the charge, riding on the momentum. Taking a look at itemizations. Does look like the Thunderbelt built up for Kong,
but not for Kyushu. Small little problem, or rather small little mistake coming in from Big Cutie. Trying to go for the assassin route and hoping that he'll be able to catch on to Pogiaco. Clearly didn't work out that well, and because of that, they lost the T1 turret, which could have stood up a little bit longer provided that they stayed as 5-man to kind of wipe out the middle lane creeps, because they do have quite a bit of AoE skills that can wipe out all of these creep waves. From Fate Cutie to Sus Bomba, Kyushu, and literally all of them have at least one skill that they toss out and they clear out the wave. So that is something that can really help them hold out the T1 turret instead of just having Fake Cutie just dive right in onto Pogiaco.
Lord spawning up in 20 seconds. Economy shifted a little bit into Sovereign SG. You got a little bit of a touch and go there by Kong and Kyushu, the double case. Just toying with death at this point. The fact of the matter is, I think Fake Cutie in the later stage of the game might become a non-factor. This is where they shine. 17 minutes into this game, and this is basically the peak for how this Duomort wants to play this round. Sovereign SG already in position. Willie sussing things out. They need to be able to find a way to get through to the back line as Shiki already has the immortality. What is the play for Everlasting Love? They had so much control of the early game.
A free turret done in the bottom lane. Sovereign SG unfortunately did not really work on their macro play, so that's free. They're not even going to try to defend that at all. That is bad. But Everlasting Love, they're still going to be hovering around the Lord and in fact resetting this Lord. As such, this is, oh wait, the bottom lane actually did go down, wow.
Still surviving, barely standing up strong.
Oh, the reset of the Lord just so that the Lord can be evolved. Very good timing, and of course, very good observation that the Lord is about to evolve too.
We've been in this position before, Abstract. This is the first of many enhanced Lords.
First of many.
Getting a reset once again. Willie with a nice little fist. Lord comes out, getting another reset.
And back in again. And out of his home.
They're sending Akashi down the bottom side. Take that wave in. Another short play is imminent. The Sovereign SG send to the back. They're trying to blitz this down. They know that Akashi is not in play anymore. Getting that knocked up. Pogiaco A little bit of a tricky situation. AOG lands on the boat. Yako, lure down low. Nice Shiki gets a kill on the sauce bomb on Fake Cutie. Steals the lure from underneath the noses of Yogi Yako. Sovereign SG. They're crumbling
Oh,
under
the
the pressure. Nice
timing!
Shiki is next. Immortality pops up. Might be able to take out Akashi, but Akashi goes strong instead. You're splitting up all these team fights. 3 members down for the side of Sovereign SG. A super lunatic. The treehouse is keeping Willie busy.
That is absolute bonkers of a fight. Everlasting Love, even though they do not have got their main damage dealer being Akashi, he was pretty late to the battle. However, he came in right in the nick of
Healing
time
everything back up, though.
to be able to
He's
just
not able
do
to recall.
everything.
Oh, it's it! That's it! Everlasting Love! Making it to the finals of the last chance qualifiers. Talk about speed run. This is fast considering this is Everlasting Love versus Sovereign SG.
This is fast.
This is fast. This is fast.
Everlasting Love, you guys have cured my PTSD. almost similar composition, varying results.
Split fight. I think the treehouse that was
I think
denied
that's
the
a-
recall
Yeah.
was actually a beautiful play coming up from Kyushu.
Honestly, all the way from the start to the end, I still do not see the dividends of Mr. Tentacle Man.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't see it. Do you see the amount of damage that Akashi dealt to Super Lunatic with just a single Chrono Dash?
Yeah, that
It's
was quite a bit.
yeah.
Even with the Athena shield, even with the Radiant armor, I think it wasn't enough.
No.
Considering the fact that he built, he brought the Revitalize instead of the Vengeance, I think that sort of tore them apart. Sovereign SG, however, and unfortunately, their journey ends right
Here.
now. Everlasting Love will be making it to the finals of the last chance qualifiers. So their hopes of making it to the playoffs as a new seeded MPL team in Season 9 is still going up strong. There are a lot of kings to be worked out, but they have some time to watch the next game coming through.
It's either gonna be King's Vanguard or it's
Ignite.
going to be Ignite. Oh man, okay. Well, let's talk about that in a short little bit as we take a look and really just talk a little bit about the rest of the data that we have here. Fake Cutie, I think that picking up the this Leomord and the Barbolo came out of
Barbosa, yeah.
absolutely nowhere,
Yep.
and I think that that is probably the big change that they needed because the team fight is just so strong. They have so much burst damage, so much, I suppose, surprises that they have got for SSG that they can't even, fathom.
Yeah. And the fact that Barbosa was dealing with Davy Jones with a zonal lockdown didn't deter Akashi. And I think Akashi played this so beautifully well, dashing in and out of the zones and dodging the Wrath of the Dryad. It created so much opportunity and dimensions of gameplay from the flanks and gameplay from Barbiel, from the Leomard as well. So, kudos to Everlasting Love. That was a fun match to watch and cast.
Yeah, agree. Well, in the meantime, who's the one that played most to the T?
Willie
Oh,
with
it's
308.
Badang.
Actually, he landed quite a bit of fist cracks. And
I agree, actually.
he's honestly the forgotten one
Uh-huh.
in this entire team fight because
Okay.
without him, without landing the walls, without landing all of these crowd control skills to set things into motion,
Mhm.
it wouldn't have been written the same. The story would have been totally different. because
I agree, yeah.
It was just a zonal potential that Willie brought to the table.
Yeah, we saw the moment where Willie was not able to land his combo,
Yep.
and immediately the entire team fight had to be paused, or
Yep.
rather have to be stopped.
Yep.
They immediately just walked back and like, yeah, we can't commit into this. Let's not bother. While we have the jungler just kind of stuck within all the turrets and just like, yeah, I'm dead.
Yeah.